topic. Speaking of losers, we got a viral clip here. I'm going to move us out of the way. I'm going to play it, and then we're going to break it down for you. Here we go.
Like, we put the ball in the end zone and go up a point at the end, finish the fucking game. Like, just end it. Like, that's it. Like, that's what we need to do. Just end the fucking game. Like,
I mean, you want competitors in the National Football League. You want tough guys, and I think Chase embodies all of that stuff. He might have been a little, to the media, I love you guys, right? I've done this a long time. I think there's some things we can address together.
That's not how we want to react. And one of our best players, one of our highest character players, I think in a moment of frustration said that, and I don't expect that to happen again.
Well, he said he's going to nip it in the butt. So I want to ask both of y'all. Seth, you actually sent this clip. What do you feel about Chase Brown's comments? I want to bring us back on screen here.
Well, I mean, I definitely understand where he's coming from because, the Bengals offense did everything that they could to win that game, and the defense single-handedly just, gave the game away. They just can't get critical stops when they need to. And Zach Taylor, you as a head coach, you got to find ways to win those games. And once again, the Bengals defense, back-to-back weeks, has failed them.
Over 35
back-to-back
points.
seasons has let them down, and that all starts with the GM.
True.
The GM, drafted a player, Smart, who, was in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Was upset about his contract guarantees, but hasn't shown up. I mean, I literally have not heard anything about this guy since, the off season.
True.
Like, what has he done since? And then Trey Henderson, what is it? Last name?
Hendricks.
Trey Hendricks is probably going to be on a new team because, clearly the organization doesn't view him. He only has 4 sacks, so I don't think he's really giving his 100% effort as well. So he's probably going to leave at the end of the season. But, I just think that it's time for Zach Taylor to go. I understand he doesn't have Burrow, but still, the players that just have not bought in. That locker room is just split. There's just no leadership besides Burrow. It's time for a new start.
And Joe Burrow's injured all the time, so he doesn't really get to kind of like really instill his leadership. If you're injured, you're kind of more on the sidelines. Exactly. You're not really involved like that. Exactly. And what I was gonna say, Shooter, is definitely it's just time for Zach Taylor to go. I think personally he might be either he needs to change the scenery, maybe he needs to be on a team that has a good defense and offense but just needs a good coach, or has potential, or maybe he's just better off being a coordinator. And I just feel like it's time to go.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see him being a coordinator. Like Lane Kiffin can end up taking the spot as somebody else. Because right now the Bengals, I feel like anybody can take the Bengals job because the Bengals have, like you always say, Coach, the 2 best wide receivers in the NFL. Nobody has a combo like this with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So
really, their whole receiver core, they probably have the best in the league. Like if you go down to their 3rd, 4th, 5th receiver. Overall, I think that there's nobody close to their receiving room.
Exactly. That's why you can plug in an old man like Joe Flacco and that 40 years old, and he can throw over almost 400 yards. So,
that's why a lot of people raise the question with Jalen Hurts getting a lot of backtrack saying that he's playing with a super team. But why doesn't the same conversation happen here?
I think it's because really with his defense, because we just saw it with the past game. With Chase Brown, which is funny, is that he's talking ish and he doesn't really run like that. He did good. He did good some games, like he did good against the Steelers. But besides that, he's mainly putting up like 50, 34 yards. So he's not a top premier back. And no. Yeah. And then on top of that, Samaje, I forgot his name, the other dude.
Samaje Perine, he got hurt.
Yeah. No, he's the one that balled out the last game before that when y'all played the Jets. He the one that had over 90 yards. It means Chase Brown didn't do anything. So the fact that Chase Brown had the goals that actually talk about the defense and talk about, y'all need to do this. Y'all need, calm down. First off, you need to rush for over 100 yards because maybe if we had a run game, we wouldn't have to depend on the quarterback to throw for 400 yards.
They can slow the game down.
You can slow the game down. You can do a lot more things. You can do a lot more things. Exactly.
What did he have last game?
It was like under 50 yards. It wasn't that good. It wasn't because the second string had the most yards on the whole team. The only time Chase Brown showed up was against the Steelers.
Yeah, that's true. Chase Brown has definitely had a down year. And, his rookie year, he was really good. He's having a sophomore slump. But, yeah, I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying. Yeah, he really has no room to talk, but I definitely understand his frustration because the offense put them in a perfect position to win, but the defense
he
once
threw
again
a
let
pick.
them down.
Joe Flacco threw 2 picks.
Yeah, but he also scored He also scored 12 points.
You're also relying on.
I definitely understand being in this. Whenever I was playing in high school, my team, our defense sucked ass. Like, we constantly had games that were in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and that's not because we wanted to. We literally had to score that much because our defense was that ass. Like,
True.
we could score like every 3 plays on offense, but our defense would give up a touchdown like every 5 plays. So,
And then so
it's definitely frustrating, man, when you feel like if y'all could just not suck completely, we would win some games. I mean, my team actually was good enough where we actually would win those shootouts a majority of the time. So, we did good and made the playoffs and stuff. But when you're coming out and you're constantly short, and it's because your defense can't stop anybody, and you're like almost breaking records on offense and still losing, you got to understand where that's coming from. But I've seen a lot of talking heads say that you got to keep that in the locker room, and even if you want to go off on the locker room on your teammates, but you don't do that to the reporters.
Exactly.
Because that's supposed to be all internal.
Yeah, and easily it can be misinterpreted. I mean, I personally don't feel like if I'm looking at it, I definitely understand his frustration. I mean, I don't think he said anything crazy. I mean, he wasn't lying because he said, yeah, let's go win the game. But then again, yeah, definitely it does look like you're trying to, like, you know what I mean?
Throw somebody under the bus. You're trying to pull a Tua.
Defense under the bus.
Trying to pull a Tua.
But I mean, I personally would have been like, it's definitely frustrating, that, I thought that we were in a position to win the game. Obviously, we weren't, but, we just got to tighten up. We got to do things better.
Tighten up.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's definitely frustrating. Back-to-back weeks, we all got to do better. That's probably what I would have said. But, I mean, he's not wrong because, in a sense, like, the head coach is not taking any accountability. You know what I mean? So that he needs to do better coaching. He needs to do better making sure that his team doesn't keep making the same mistakes over and over. And that starts with him getting in contact with his, position coaches on a defensive coordinator.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True, and I feel like the only.
But I understand it though.
Yeah, no, I feel like the only thing that's really saving the Bengals head coach and Zach and his head coaching job is the fact that the division they're in and everybody's doing bad except for the Steelers. The Ravens, they just got Lamar back
on track.
They just won one game. They beat the Dolphins. That don't really count.
Yeah.
Then they beat the Bears.
That barely counts.
That barely counts.
I mean,
the Bears are looking good this year. Ben Johnson has them looking right. But I mean, then on top of that, you have the Browns. The Browns, Myles Garrett complaining about them. So I mean, this division isn't really that strong. So you can say, yeah, the Bengals need to fire their coach, but at the same time, the Bengals coaches be like, well, the Browns ain't firing their coach, and Harbaugh is still with the Ravens. So I mean, I got a shot. And then on top of that, Joe Burrow's out with the injury. So I mean, he's
definitely getting a pass for some of that.
He may get a pass for this year because he got lucky.
He get a pass for every year because it's always the same story with them with the injuries. They're almost like the 49ers.
True. Joe Burrow, I mean, they definitely have to do something about that situation. But y'all comment down below how you feel about the Cincinnati Bengals. And you tell me what y'all would do if a player on y'all team said this about something. If he was on the offense, said something about the defense. If he was on the D line, he said something about the O line. Like, what would y'all do if like a D line said, "Our O line sucked. They gave up too many." What are they doing in practice?
He didn't say that.
He's getting jumped in the shower, 100%.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you say something harsh like that. You can say something semi-harsh like that. Like, you don't talk about the O line.
No, you talk about your own group. So offense talks about offense, defense talks about defense. But sometimes I was guilty of it too. When your defense is ass and your offense is historic, it's gonna get under your skin.
The story.
Mm-hmm. But let's go ahead and speaking of